Alright, so this is a video blog, drama blog. It is July 23rd. That's Sunday, 2018, around 1:30 p.m. So I'm in Oroville. I just got back from Modesto. I was working some construction stuff over there with a cousin, and I was staying at a hotel, and I wanted to make a video blog there, but I just didn't have the energy, because I wanted, well, not the energy, but I was gonna, but I wanted to talk about some stuff. The stuff that I was going to talk about right now, but I kind of want to talk about this other stuff. I don't know, it's kind of getting to the place where just everything's pretty heavy, and I'm like, I mean, I could talk about other stuff, but I don't want to kind of discuss yeah, so I'm in Oroville, and one of the topics was it's so weird because I'm getting bombarded by like so much stuff, like, you know, on Facebook and, you know, normal stuff, and people around me, family members, and like, and it's just like, I mean, there's so much, like, every person that's in my life, I have like own issues, or not issues, but yeah, kind of, you know, kind of fragmented right now. So everything, it's been that way, but it's as I try to put things together, like I've been writing, drawing these comic book stuff. You know, my life has been kind of centered around my art and stuff like that, music and art, and family and stuff. But like my career, my interests, artistic stuff has been like, you know, I've been working on it for a long time, and creating these books. So like, making these books and making like yeah, my mind's just like too much, like too much stuff going on in my mind, I guess, but in the world too. Like, I just watched this video about gold, world gold, which is like totally separate than my own issues, but they're actually not separate, you know. And I guess that's why my mind is full at the moment, making my music and making my art, and trying to do business, and trying to work and then trying to answer all these questions that people, you know, every piece of art that I make seems to be part of some drama, because it's all my old art. And so what I believe is, like, you know, people made stuff and made all my, trying to, you know, use it for, you know, it's important to me, you know, like all my art is important to me. So when it's tainted with other people's versions of it, what's become the main version of it now, it's like, it makes me kind of sad that, you know, you know, it's kind of what I'm building on, is, you know, a lot of years of work that I put into that, and for these other stories to come in and take it over, and you know, I'm creating, and the good thing is that I'm creating new art, so I could answer some questions that people put in there. You know, like, you know, people try to use my stuff for their own purposes. So now that I'm creating new art, I kind of get the feeling that people are tripping, or more less subtle, and approaching me in public or whatever. And that's what's weird about it, because it's not just like myself and my art and my world. Like, there's actually like a reaction in the real world, and like, and the world is going through a lot of stuff. So it's like, and it's, so I get to have to deal with some of these entities of human groups, coming, kind of checking me out, like this is one dude. I went to the bank and I got a check, and they knew that I was going to cash it. So I've kind of run into this, and I know it sounds stupid, but I know people that know what's going on know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is what I've been dealing with for years already, like people knowing where I'm going. And it sounds like I'm crazy, but it's not. It's not even not feasible. It's like all they have to do is check my phone. I got a watch at Walmart that was hella nice. People keep commenting on it. It's like, okay, well, either you really like my watch, it's so awesome, which is not, but it's so awesome that people want to just comment on my watch, and or it's another part of the joke. And I had a phone, was not this Apple phone or whatever, but it was this I don't know what it was. It was some phone I got. It was a smartphone, but it was a cheap one. I'm pretty sure all my phones have been hacked or whatever. So I'm just hoping that it's actually just the authorities and not some fucking local motherfuckers or fucked up groups, which I'm pretty sure they've got into my stuff. But so like so like my GPS, like I'd be trying to get to places, and the motherfucker would be going crazy and driving me around in circles and shit, and always make me pass by schools and shit. So I'm pretty sure, like, and this is when I was in San Jose. No, wait, where was I? I was in the Bay Area. Oh yeah, this is when I was living with my Uncle Chap or whatever. This last time or whatever, I was staying at his place in October, like 216 maybe, 215, 216, until that December. So a couple months I was there, and yeah, dude, and like. So I had to deal with that, but then at the same time I had to deal with like, going to the gym and like having people like, wanting to challenge me at the gym, and just girls trying to, show off in front, just weird stuff. But obviously there was cameras around, so I've been, I know it sounds like I'm hypersensitive or hyper, whatever, like, but it's not, for people that know, it's not the case. The truth is that this is really happening. So the same thing with my phone, same thing with like, so I'll go to the bank and they know that I'm in Modesto for whatever reason, and I get back and I go to the bank, because it's a check, so I go inside the bank on Saturday morning, or Saturday like at 10:30 or something. So this dude's there with the fucking, I don't know, Iron Maiden shirt. I don't know, some white dude that was, and he wasn't a poor white dude. I don't know what he was, but he was probably around my age. But he was like I don't know, some blonde Tom Selleck looking dude that he didn't have a mustache or nothing, but he was kind of like, macho guy or whatever. And I'm just getting off the damn fucking my car to the bank, you know what I'm saying? I have to run into these people. So the dude like has a patch over his eye. Maybe he really did have a patch, but it didn't. It looked like that was weird, I was like, but I didn't see that till I went. When I pulled up, the guy like is walking out of the bank, and the guy's like in some white like Jeep thing or something, I don't know. And I didn't see his face or nothing. I don't know. I just saw his shirt, and he looked at me, and then he takes off his shirt, and he has like some tattoos on his back. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I park, and then I forget what happened. And then, oh yeah, then I think somehow I walked out. I don't know. But dude had a patch in his eye. It was just weird. I don't know. That could be just random, but there's been so many random stuff that it's not. You know what I mean? Like, I love to go through each and every one of them, but I really don't feel like that's gonna help any situation or whatever. I just want people to know that that's fucking, it's ridiculous, and fucking I'm tired of it, and you know, and really like all these different groups, because it's not really, I don't think it's just one group, it's like a bunch. I'm down, I like Mexicans because I'm Mexican, and obviously there's some issues with Mexicans, so you know, it seemed like all my white friends kind of abandoned me at this time of all this crazy shit. And Mexican people, almost everyone, I've felt pretty alone during this time, but you know, at least, you know, as I make my art and all this stuff like that, they actually have an understanding of kind of where I'm going at. And I don't want to be total racial about like all my stuff, because I don't want to stay there. I just want to create some work that is important to the time, and you know, it's been a goal of mine for a long time, you know, to focus on the Chicano aspect of characters, you know, and entertainment and comic books, you know, like how many superheroes are Mexicans, you know, Chicanos. Same thing with movies and music and all that stuff. So that was always been a goal of mine. So now that I'm doing it and creating it and finally getting to that place, you know, like all this stuff in the real world is happening, and it's kind of a mixture, you know. It's like seems like a lot of people really didn't want that to happen or feel threatened by it, and then some seems like, you know, it's also more accepted to get that in the media, and you know, had to have like movies with main characters that are, you know, Chicanos or whatever, or Mexican Americans or whatever. Some bad, some stereotypical, some where they're the heroes. And so, you know, the world's changing, and I'm happy for it. Our America's changing, and you know, but there's a lot of strife going on, and I think, you know. So anyway, so that's kind of separate, but well, I guess what I'm saying is, you know, these other groups, I don't know if they're all weed growers or what, but I know some people feel maybe it's just my drama that they're attracted, they're coming at me, and also the racial tension that, you know, these subjects that I'm speaking on, people are you know, you attract what you talk about, you know. So I think that's kind of part of it, been part of it, you know, especially talking in the Butte County at the time I did, you know, that was very like, it was very hostile at the time, you know, 2009, like during the Bush era and Obama era, and now the Trump era. So it's been very hostile. So as far as the locals and you know, being in Northern California now, I find myself in this Mexican thing, which the Mexicans have their own drama, which is kind of like not just the Mexican American thing and the white folks, but they have the fucking, you know, whole Northern California, Southern California thing going on, and from Mexico or whatever. It's all this too much stuff, which is not even something that I feel I want to deal with, because I've gotten 41 years through life without having to deal with it, and you know, the next part of my life is already when I'm already going to be old, and it's like, psh, why do I want to start there? But like I said, you know, the whole Mexican American Chicano thing is important to me, and so it's kind of weird, you know. It gets weird where I know that is important to a lot of people, you know, that I know and, you know, family member. I don't know if, like, who, but in the Bay Area, it's real. You know what I mean? Over here, it's kind of real, but it's, you know, if you're Mexican, you're Mexican. It's more not as I guess not as, you know, prevalent as it is in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? Where gangs are actually like, it's real deal shit. Which I don't want to even go there because that's not something that is. I just don't agree with it. You know, even though I know about it enough. I you know, as a educated Mexican American Chicano, like I sociology major, you know, like going to school and college, and I'm more like the, you know, I fit into that other section where I don't know. So, a social activist. So I know there's a lot of people that do that, but we all have families and we all have to deal with that. I don't know if other races, I know other races do have to deal with that, but it seems to be something important to the Mexicans here. You know, I don't know, it's weird, man. It's like something I would rather not even have to talk about or deal with, but it seems like it's an issue somehow, but not to me. To me, I believe in the future. I believe that there's something better in the future, and I hope that, you know, even not even just with the Mexicans, but with everybody, you know, like with all races, you know, I really hope that we get to a better place where it's not about race, you know, where it turns into really just like, how do we make a better life for all of us, you know, like, and that is really my goal, more than just the Chicano Mexican American stuff. That is what I really, but at the same time, this whole America and the world, you know, but America and California, where there is this racism, you know, and I happen to be Mexican American, where there is an issue with that, and you know, and the world's addressing it right now, where it's getting addressed, whether the good or the bad, you know, like, but it's a subject where, you know, where people are questioning white privilege, you know, and why, you know, because really people want to be like, you know, I'm white and America's white, you know, and everyone else is visitors, you know, is second-class citizens or whatever. And it goes past that. It goes to the place where we're human beings, first of all. So anybody that's spewing fucking shit that's like, think that they're have more rights on the earth than another human being because of whatever color their skin is weak and fearful and a coward and hateful, and because people that are hateful are fearful. Fear is a dominant emotion, and when you fear something, you hate it because you're fearing it. You don't hate something and then fear it. The first one is fear. So these people that group themselves up for, you know, to have a better life and more money and all, you know, to get more rights, it's been going on for a long time, you know. It's always been going on. It's a human nature thing. But, you know, it doesn't mean that it's right. And you know, things change, you know. Things change in the world, you know, and I think that could be one of them. There's a lot of other things I want to talk about, you know, like personal stuff about my life is, of course, on the menu because people want to talk about that, and that was another thing I wanted to say. You know, it's not, I keep saying the same thing because it's important to say, but it's not that I want to put this stuff in the public, you know, in the public you know, media or whatever. This is not subjects that I feel is important to anybody other than the people that's been in my life, that's been involved personally in my life. But that's not the case, you know. A public arena, that's what I was going to say. So the public arena, the issue is that people put it already in the public arena, and it wasn't just the people that were involved. It's been these fucking other people that have their agendas, that have, and I don't know the whole issue because I don't know who's been saying what, because no one said anything to me personally other than these secondary or third or fourth people that have no fucking involvement in any of my personal life. But for the people that actually have involvement, they have not said anything to me personally, and I take offense to that because they put me in a position where my life has been threatened and my family's suffered, you know, and nothing that I've done in life has condoned that. So that's the issue. And to have my stuff in the public arena in life and time and now, you know, it's taken away my chance to make a livelihood and create my art, you know, make a living out what I'm good at. And whether the people that have issues with me knew this going into it or whatever, if they wanted, because there's a few reasons that I feel that these people felt the need to go there, is because either they wanted it to be in the public arena and then they felt like, hey, you know, this is a selfish reason where it's like, hey, you know, I'm pissed off and, you know, by whatever means necessary, because, you know, it was public, it was fucking on social media first of all, but it went all the way, you know, to fucking all the way. So I personally don't want to go there because that's not, you know, I don't, and that's the thing too, is my art and my poetry and my music, and none of it's been about these people. So whoever tried to turn it into that is their own fault. Is not my fault. I can't take responsibility for that, because the honest truth, I make stories, dude. That's what I do. I create art, and if I draw Spider-Man, or if I draw Batman, or if I draw Superman, or if I draw Wolverine, they're just fucking Wolverine and Superman. I've been drawing these guys since I was a kid. Like, they don't have deeper meaning to these characters. And so if people want to make stupid shit about it, like make movies about it or make songs about it, they keep doing that forever. People are gonna be able to do this forever. Make part 2, movie part 2 and part 3. If I like Bruce Lee, I like Bruce Lee. If I like Tupac, I like Tupac. You guys want to like change their story and make them like worse, and then, you know what I mean? I can't address everything that everyone else does in the world. And it's gotten really crazy, you know what I mean, where people took in stuff out of my work, whether they listen to my conversations, which, you know, they have, because it's been I've been under investigation for a while, so supposedly, I don't know, like, this is my own observations, and, you know, because things that I've said in private have been, you know, people have been responding to this stuff, and I'm like, you know, for years. And so when I talked about my comic books with my brother, and I don't know, all the stories, because I talked freely to a lot of people, and some of this stuff was private in my house. You know, I never talked about comic books and storylines to anybody other than my brother in a household, you know, in Cohasset. I remember talking in Cohasset, maybe in 42 Oak Drive, I don't know. But almost word for word, some of this stuff has been taken, and some of the storylines have been used, and stuff from my drawings, of course, like, you know, character, like the way things look, which I can't it's kind of flattering. They say if somebody steals something from you, take it as flattery because whatever. But they're trying to mix it up with they're trying to mix it up. So there's a few different versions of what, if they want to talk about my personal life, or if they want to talk about, issues going on with real life stuff, or these other issues where it's supernatural and like, they're trying to make weird stuff about, Native American Aztec stuff going on, and there's their fear of that, and our people of color taking over the world, or Godzilla, like the Godzilla stuff. Oh, watch out, Godzilla's coming back, which is white fear, which who knows, maybe that's stuff that I have been interested in, and but I'm not like possessed, or I'm not like working. There's some issues I do want to talk about, but I'm not the bad guy. They're Medusa that they want, or they're, I forget what that dude, H.P. Lovecraft made, the Aztec Qua or whatever. There's some bad guy, octopus, shark guy. This is white people making up stories about the Native Americans, which they've been doing for the whole time. So I feel they should take responsibility for their own fear, and if they treated the Native Americans and the blacks and really bad, and they fear that that's what's going to happen to them, that's a worldwide thing. That's England and Germany and all these, France, and it goes on and on and on. Like, I'm not in control of that, but I'm gonna document it. I'm gonna write it down because that's what's happening. That's what I see, and that's what's been going on. And so my work doesn't cater to the European versions of my own people, of my ancestors, and so the fear of the Europeans. I have European in me. I'm Spanish, and as far as I know, so I'm not saying that I'm like pure blood and have the answers, but I'm using my art to represent, my ancestors, a culture that's been lost, to us, and it's a history that I share with a lot of people, Mexican people, and I'm using it. I'm expanding on it. I'm talking about it. It doesn't go into religion. Well, it does go, but not in my versions of exploration. It's not about what everyone else should feel about religion or God, or that's not. I personally believe that God is God. Like there's a real creator, and that's it. Like everybody needs to figure it out for themselves. I'm not gonna tell everybody what to think. That's not my job. So it goes there, so it is pretty deep stuff as far as like the worldview of stuff and what I'm doing, and as part of it, and Hollywood stuff, and my culture, my time right now is in the world view, and my personal stuff is mixed in with that. So I've been making these videos to help people understand and clarify the issues that I've been dealing with, so that I can answer these questions, which is another issue, because like I've been saying, like if you're a target, you're a target. Like if I was saying other things, then I wouldn't be dealing with these issues, because the real issues are not as crazy as they've made them out to be. And so this is, I'm in this place where, not only has the issues been, turned into something, it's also like they've tried to create new issues. You know what I mean? Like people are fucking. It's not my past. It's the present. All this stuff happening right now that I've been, people going through my stuff and, you know, recording me and taking pictures of me and all weird shit, you know, like 1984 in me, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like everything that I draw or create, like they're looking at it, or before I even put it out. That's why I posted on Facebook right away, because like, well, if you're gonna, might as well just share it with everybody. But you know, you guys heard this already, so let me go into some stuff. During this time, this is the stuff I wanted to get rid of. This is why I wanted to make a video right now, or here in Oroville, and because I went through all my stuff and I got rid of junk that I've been in the process of that since I left the house of 42 Oak Drive. When I was living there, I gathered all my stuff, all my art and everything, and all this junk. It was just like, you know, toy boxes of old memorabilia and all this stuff. So, and like old like bills and like paperwork and whatever it is, you know, books, and so all this stuff. So I gotten rid of I got all this National Geographics, like hundreds of them, because out of, you know, free bin over at the Paradise library. Old people live in Paradise, so they give away a lot of stuff. So I was just like, woo, because, you know, as an artist, that's what we use. So I finally had a chance to get them, but then the internet came out and I didn't really need them. But there was a lot of cool stuff in them. I just didn't have time to check them out. So I ended up getting rid of all that stuff and all. So I've been in the process, and then the furniture that I had from my old girlfriend, like when we were living together, like I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff like that. It's been a process. I just got rid of like some of the last. I had to go through the storage that I had, because when I left in 2015 or something like that, yeah, my dad had, and my mom or whatever, I don't know what it was. I just had to leave, so they moved out of Cohasset, which I had some stuff there still. So they just threw it in there, all my art and stuff, and so I had to go fix it up and throw away stuff I didn't want, and blah blah blah. But you know, as before all this stuff, you know, like I said, I've been like under surveillance, that's the thing that's fucked up. Is it's so ridiculous that it got into that place where, you know, I don't know what really out there, like if there really is like some issues, like serious issues, like it's not me, so I don't know what's really out there or what people, you know, I got some vendettas myself on some people that put me like some, I don't want to take it out on people because it's gonna only ruin my life, you know, as far as my understanding. I understand that, you know, violence begets violence, you know, like, and I don't really feel like dealing with that in my life, so I haven't used that. I will protect myself, but I'm not gonna go and use that. And even with my words, I'm trying to be kind and, you know, do unto others as you have them do unto you. So this is really just seeking truth. So getting rid of all my stuff, and so I have some stuff that's left over, you know, which some stuff I feel like people have used for their own questions and whatever. So I'm kind of upset, but I'm trying to be cool about it. And one of them is, and this is fucked up because sometimes it's people, you know, people with family members, like cousins, and again, that they had the worst. They took payola to take you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and whether it's true or not, like that's kind of what I felt, and what I still feel happened. And it's like, whether it's the weed thing or, you know, I have family members, you know, that, you know, kind of shady. You know what I mean? Like I have a good family because there's a lot of love. Been a lot of love there, but you know, they've got brainwashed just like other people, or they have, you know, some have the mentality of look out for number one kind of thing, you know. manipulators. You know, I got some fucking talkers in my family, and there's some manipulators in there that I didn't know. You know, growing up, like we didn't have that going on, and I guess, you know, as now that we're older, shit stuff turned into that. So people came at me like that. Whether they believed I'm a bad guy or whatever, they wanted to turn it in. They you know, used it as their own agenda or whatever. And hopefully I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I feel. You know, everything has consequences. So I have some stuff that I want to get rid of, but I don't want to get rid of it till I talk about it and kind of explain it. You know what I mean? Kind of what the hell. Like some shit just comes in your life. People be bringing me stuff or leaving stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, the hell. So first of all, let's go into stuff I don't have that I've gotten rid of already. Stuff that I've, you know, that's on the agenda that people feel, I don't know what they're thinking about. But okay, so one of the real bad ones, this is one that's in my mind at the moment. So there was, I went to Walmart, right? When I was living in 42 Oak Drive, I went to Walmart and bought some movies, man. Like I was like, hey, you know, there's a cheap movie bin. And I was like, hey, you know, I'll buy some movies, because I don't know, I wasn't buying a bunch of DVDs at that time or whatever. It was like, oh yeah, I had a lot of burnt DVDs from my ex-girlfriend, so we broke up, and it's kind of just, you know, I don't know, watching YouTube and thinking stuff. But there was no, I think I had Netflix at the time. Might have had Netflix at the time, but I don't know, it was kind of right before that maybe. But so I bought some DVDs. I was like, hey, you know, they're cheap, Walmart. So this is fucked up, but okay, so I got this Kevin Bacon movie, right? Fucking called The Woodsman. I didn't know nothing about the movie. I just was like, hey, Kevin Bacon, I like that guy, he's good. And then, I mean, what the hell, like, and then there was another one. It was Johnny Cash, like he was a cowboy in like some generic Western movie. I don't know. Look, it was like thin and like, I don't know, never released, or I don't know what it was, like a TV movie or something. And at the time I was starting getting into Johnny Cash, and I was like, hey, you know, that guy, I'll check out his movie. And then, so that's when his movie came out. His movie came out, you know, a few years before that, but you know, I was feeling the breakup, so I was like, which I had that movie already, so I got this one. And then there was a Japanese like horror movie. It was another generic thin movie from Japan that was like, you know, multi-stories. And the thing with that was that I never really watched it, because it was so generic that I was like, eh. Same thing with the other movie, the Johnny Cash movie. But the Japanese one was kind of, like I said, multi-story. So I was kind of, you know, like I said, I wanted to do film, and I wanted to do, you know, I was doing Tales of Scarcity stuff, so I was like interested in short stories, which I still am. You know, that's kind of a goal, is short story stuff. So I had those movies sitting there, you know, I had a bunch of like shelves there. I had all my stuff, you know, books and toys and, you know, all stuff that was in my living room that was just sitting there, and movies, you know. So I think somebody stole my phone, dude. Like seriously, like, because my phone was gone, and the kids, my brother's kids, ended up having it, and I was like, what the hell? And it was already like a year later that they found it, and I was like, you guys had my phone for the whole, like, this is a phone that I got from my girlfriend, and you know, sending text backs and stuff like that, and you know, from the girl that was in SF. And so when the phone went missing, I was like, what the hell? So I ended up having to get another phone. And this is when we broke up, and we had issues and blah blah blah. But I had bought it new when it came out, when I was with her still towards the end, and so it was a new phone when it got taken. So I was kind of like, what the hell? Where's my phone? It was like a week or two that I didn't see it, or I was like, where's? And you know, it never showed up. And then so years later, they're like, here's your phone. And I'm like, so you know what I mean? Like, this is like shady shit from a lot of people. So I don't know what happened with that. And so anyway, so this movie, right? So this movie, people wanted to make it was bad, and this is before I knew all this stuff was going on, like all this other stuff. This was like maybe 2010, 2009, 2010. I don't know when it was, but so The Woodsman is a bad movie, right? It's like not only is it a bad movie, but it's about the subject matters. I had to watch it through because I was just like, is this like, did they really make a movie about this? Like, what? And so yeah, I mean, so anyway, so that movie seemed how people felt was something that, I don't know. So yeah, so basically I never watched it again. It sat there for a while, and somehow, so it had a guy with the basketball on the cover, Kevin Bacon or whatever. He ended up coming out in X-Men as a bad guy, as the Black King or whatever. And so I don't know why he did that movie or what. You know, I was rooting for him, like he did Tremors, I think. But that movie was just not a good choice to make. So along that subject matter, like, that is, I gotta say it like this, because this is one of the worst things that has been, even like that anybody could have to deal with. If you know what, if you have to, if that's not your story, if that's not close to, and people feel that way about you or think that shit or whatever, dude, that's the worst shit ever. As far as like the public opinion of the actual issues of that stuff, like, and like I keep talking about, you know, like in the local arena and the world arena, like, it's an issue, man. And I'm you know, I have strong beliefs in that subject, as far as what, you know, it's wrong, you know, not just wrong, it's really bad. And I don't think the world is dealing with it in the right way or enough, you know, like, you know, with the high subject matter of where it's really coming from, you know, like child trafficking and all this stuff, you know, like, it seems like nobody's really getting busted for it, like the whole cosmic pizza or whatever, you know what I mean, like serious stuff, really serious stuff. And kind of like the Dark Crystal movie, if you watch that with the Muppets and stuff, there's like you know, these guys, like these vulture things, like absorb the energy of these like little creatures. And I think might be something like that. I really think like these priests and all these people like do weird shit like that. But I don't know, like, I don't want to infer, you know, like, this is some serious shit, you know, like, this is like that movie from Stanley Kubrick, like the last one with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. there's some weird shit going on in the world, and I'm just so that people understand, I'm not part of that. I don't believe in it. I don't do it. Like, I'm, people want to put me in the weird category, which is whatever, but now I'm not that category. So fucking these people are crossing the line, and I believe some of these people, whoever's really paying the payola for this stuff, maybe have agendas, So I don't know. I'm not into that, being thrown in any of those categories. Same thing with Michael Jackson category. Like, dude, I grew up liking Michael Jackson's music, and but it wasn't my favorite. At the beginning it was like, yeah, it was my time of the Thriller album, and so yeah, but it wasn't like, I got into rock and roll and oldies and stuff, like, so that wasn't during the breakdancing era. Yeah, he was popular, but he was never like, even Prince wasn't even like high on my, he's amazing, like, I mean, I like Purple Rain movie and all that stuff, but Guns N' Roses was my band that, when I first started liking music, AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, and before that was Al Green and Michael Jackson and Tiffany and who else? Things like that, like pop music during that time, but it wasn't more than that. Anyway, shouldn't even have to explain this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid, it's kid stuff, but like, as far as Michael Jackson and I don't know the guy. First of all, I don't know what really happened. I don't know the agenda, but from what I saw was that he got set up here and there, like people did payola on him, and so when that happened, it was not a good thing. So that's what I saw. As far as like him as public figure and stuff like that, and like, I think he got burned up and shit happened. I don't know what happened in his life. Like, a lot of child stars like Lindsay Lohan and like, I hate to put her in there, but Britney Spears and all these child stars, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the agenda is in that world, but probably might have, he was in that world, so I don't know, but I just don't. That's as far. So these people making jokes and stuff and like whatever in my world, talking about me in my world, is like, that's fucking bullshit, and it's pissing me off. So the thing is, I guess supposedly, some people said this and that here and there. So I'm, like I said, like, that pisses me off. First of all, not at the people, because I believe this is what's been the toughest thing is, like, before the Me Too movement, it was like, there has to. I agree with people saying, if something happens to you, say it, because yes, you know what I mean? Like, I have family, I have nieces, I have myself, my family, like, yeah, dude, tell your parents, tell your teacher, tell anybody, and yes, people should take it seriously, and people should deal with that issue. Not all crazy, because like Michael Jackson or like myself, like, fucking, hey man, like, sometimes fucking there's agendas and shit. So some of this stuff has been like, hey, that's not, don't even throw me in that category. So, but at the same time, when shit happens to your kid or to your family or to whoever, that is a very serious issue. So I don't want to take away anything like that. Same thing with rape and all that stuff. Like, there's some very serious stuff going on in the world, and within families, and within like groups of people and communities and countries and religions, and so I don't want to take away from people, especially women that that have to deal with real life, or have to deal with issues that I don't know what it means to have to deal with that. So I've personally, when I've felt these accusations and all these things, I was like, instead of lashing out, I had to think about it. I was like, what? And then I didn't know about them, so I had to like figure it out and who said what and what. And then when this other stuff started coming in, I was like, what? And that like was worse, because I was like, whoa, fuck, like. So it got all mixed in. So I'm like, dude, whatever, dude, like. And so I don't believe that it's right to not listen to somebody that has something to say about it. But at the same time, that's why we have court systems and judges and like two sides of the story. Like, just because people were women doesn't mean that they're right, and doesn't mean, and because something happened, like, there's been a lot of like, and that's what's fucked up about the situation, in my situation too. There's been like more than one issues of, not of kid stuff, but fucking, I don't know, women stuff. But like, dude, it's like I got Tupac on the poster. It's like, damn, dude, like, what the hell? So I don't know, other than having to go into each situation, which I didn't want to do because it's public arena kind of stuff, and it's like, really, do I really want to talk about this stuff publicly? And no, I don't. And I know that's kind of the agenda of these people throwing some stuff in there and trying to agitate me daily, so that I'm making videos, which is fine. But there's a lot of people that they have their own agendas, and there's some sneaky ass terrible people that are trying to throw me in there for whatever reason. Like I said, payola, the drug addicts, or whatever they are, dude. Like, and I want to lash out so bad, because it's for me, it's easy to destroy people. Like, I have a lot of opinions, I have a lot of opinions that I could have on everyone I ever met. But I don't want to do that, because I know that's not gonna help me. It's not gonna make my life better by just trying to I'm not gonna, by doing the same thing. It's like using violence beget violence. Same thing with your words, so I'm trying to go into this as a I got to clear my name, first of all, and second of all, do I believe in the court systems enough to throw my life in there in a whim of, in the mix of this whole agendas going on in California and stuff like that? Like, do I trust them enough to really to have true justice? Like, and that's been the question, because I love to just say everything exactly how it happened and what happened, but I find myself in this place where it's not always like, you know what I'm saying, like, what do they call it? And it's biblical, don't speak against yourself. But like, so I don't know, like I said, nobody came up to me personally and told me what their agenda is, but it's, I've gotten buried, and yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. And the worst thing is like when it goes on to my family members and stuff like this, like, they went through a lot of shit, like my family, like and that's where I'm like, is this really about me, or is this about like some other stuff? Because it seems like some like Trojan horse kind of shit, like, and I don't want to say it like that, because people obviously take things wrong and feel that I'm making fun of situations where that's not the case, but making fun of how they handled the situation, you know what I'm saying, like how they turned it into a joke. And that's fucked up for me and my family, and fucked up for, you know what I mean, like, this ain't some talk show shit, you know what I mean, like, if anybody, when people get their life thrown out into the world, their dirty laundry and all this stuff, you see how you react, and a lot of people are, I'm not the only one. It's getting more and more where, people want to make videos of these parents like yelling on at some fucking softball game and all, getting crazy. So social media and video cameras and all this stuff ruined a lot of people's lives as far as, putting their business into the world, and I just happen to be one of them. But I'm fighting back where, it's pretty bad to be misunderstood and thrown in the category. So that's kind of what I want to say about those things. As far as, it's already 55 minutes, so I'm gonna make another one right now and go into some of this stuff right here that I have, so I can get rid of it or whatever. So, all right.